Hey everyone, welcome to Savoring the Magic,
That's right.
a live show for a change.
These don't happen very often, so welcome.
Do not. So we have kind of a fun announcement for the next coming month or so. So we thought, we'll do a live show and kind of give some of the details about it.
Yeah.
So where are we heading?
We are headed to D23.
That's right. So we went for one day back 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I brought up some pictures here. That was the parks panel. There was us in front of the inflatables out front.
Before it even started,
Before
after
it
we
even
picked up
started.
our badges.
That's right. This was Moon Night, some of the props and costumes. And this was during, Obi-Wan? I'm trying to think.
Andor.
Andor, and I think Mando Season 3, I think, was some of the costuming
Yeah.
there. And we saw Walt's plane, of course. And that is us with our friend Cole, who, not beknownst to us, but is actually going to be there again this year.
Yeah, so.
So, fun
Yeah,
little detail.
he'll probably pop up again. You guys saw him in the Jollywood Nights video, too.
Yep. So, just little couple photos there from the last time, which was
Yes.
a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
But we were only there for one day last time, and I think that was also like a big, there is way too much to see here in a day, especially just on the show floor.
We did well, just so we're clear.
We did a good job.
We were exhausted, but we did well because, like he said, we got to do the full movie panel. It didn't include Marvel or Star Wars, but it was all Disney live action, animation, Pixar.
Yeah.
It was a lot. And it was a really great panel. That's when we got to see sneak peeks for Haunted Mansion and Wish and just a ton of stuff.
Little Mermaid.
So, yeah, Little Mermaid. Wow, that really tells you how long that has been.
Yes. All those movies are
all
well
those
out.
things. So, yeah, we got to do that. We got to spend a lot of time on the show floor last time. If you are going to D23, something to plan for, just FYI, because there are a ton of things to see on the floor, which I think we'll probably get into a little bit later.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, we were talking the other day that we're almost to our 1 year anniversary on the channel.
That's right.
So what better way to celebrate than by having just a ton of Southern California content and Disney content in particular right around that time.
That's right. We have several friends that are going with us, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Big shout out to Nicole and Lewis.
Yes.
And we're really excited to go. Like I said, so thanks to all of y'all who have been watching the last, which doesn't seem possible, 11 months.
11 months, yeah.
I think it was August, 17th or 16th, I think was our first video.
Which is about the time probably that our first video from
For
all
this
this
will be
will be
coming up.
released. So
Yes.
great
Yeah.
timing.
Yeah, so bear with us from August 6th to like the 13th.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be filming a lot, but I'm not sure how much editing I'll get accomplished.
To be determined.
So since we're going on that side of the coast, a few things that you might see. Obviously, Disneyland can't, go across the street.
Goes
and not
without
go there.
saying, yes.
We have a couple
Quite
movie
literally.
Yes. We have a couple movie studio tours, one of which we've done before, but another one that we haven't done at all.
And that one, pretty sure we can't film at. So
Yes.
I look forward to us showing you pictures on our phones and telling you all about it.
Yes.
It's
Might
gonna
be
be fun.
Might be a lot of photos with commentary, but exciting nonetheless.
It might get paired with some Burbank things, so
Yes.
it's not just straight up,
Yes.
look at these things that we did that we couldn't show you in real time.
That'll be the Burbank Day.
Burbank Day.
Um,
There will be multiple Burbank days, but that's okay.
One of them. We have a couple restaurants we want to try, so we'll have those in the mix. Obviously, we're going to be there for all 3 days this time for D23
Yes.
and at the events in the evening. So obviously, I don't know how much
Okay.
of that.
And when he says events in the evening, he means the Honda Center. We should
Yes.
specify.
True.
Because if you did not get into the Honda Center, there are still evening events going on at the convention,
Yes.
some of which are really cool panels. Disney, we see you and we see what you did.
They need to have something there for people that didn't get in.
There's a big retro Disneyland slideshow presentation
Oh, yeah, I know.
that it does hurt me to know that it's going to be going on about the time we have to go to the Honda Center.
This is true.
I'm trying to get over it.
Trying being the key word of that phrase.
Clearly doing very well.
So I thought we would talk about maybe some of our most anticipated things that we think we're going to get more information about. And then we kind of each made a little bit of a wish list of things that we would be pleasantly surprised if they were to come up. But by
Yes.
no means do I think that they will. I mean, maybe.
Disclaimer.
Maybe some of them, but I don't expect all of them.
Yeah.
Just a personal wish list.
Yeah, I get that.
So one thing I know we both are highly
Yes.
anticipated for is the Parks panel.
Of course. I mean, they've announced all these billions of dollars they're putting into the parks. We want to know where it's going and what it's going to look like. Also, the parks panel 2 years ago, we were not there for, but it was a lot of blue sky concept, a lot of throwing around of ideas, but generally general consensus was underwhelming. So I feel like they know they have to have a lot to kind of compensate for that this year. So I think they're going to deliver.
I think so. This year's event is called Horizon. So something interesting, or Horizons, excuse me.
Come on, John.
Get it together. But you can kind of see.
Professional man.
I don't know if any of that was, in the cards, but you can see from the artwork, all the castles are referenced.
It's a really cool piece of artwork,
It is.
actually.
I think the only thing that isn't referenced is Tokyo Disney Sea, which makes sense because they just opened a huge expansion there.
Yes. We're looking at you, Fantasy Springs, one
That's
day.
right. Big Thunder is referenced in the artwork on the
As
side.
is a Hollywood Studios with the...
Well, all the parks are,
Yeah.
but that's the only thing that's a attraction specific
Yes.
reference. So
Very true.
I do have hope that that means we are getting something out of that.
We can hope. We're going to get into that in a little bit, actually.
Yes. So one thing that I know we're going to get some more things about is the Tropical Americas expansion to Animal Kingdom.
Yes. I mean, we've already seen, if you're any kind of big Disney nerd like we are, then you saw different permitting that has come through. So we already know that the Imagineering stuff is being set up to begin work. We've known that Dino Land was on its way out. R.I.P. Dinosaur. And after this past Destination D23 that was here in Orlando, we know that they've pretty well settled on the Tropical Americas thing, which means that it's going to be Encanto and then Indiana Jones. So Indiana Jones will be taking over the dinosaur ride. It's going to be rethemed. It will have a different story than the one in Disneyland, which I'm glad because that one would not make much sense where it's at. So at least it's going to be story-wise set in the Tropical Americas thing, which I think will be great. And then, of course, Encanto is wildly popular, so I'm sure, it's going to be something with going through the casita, it seems like, just based on the concept art. I think we'll probably get more information on what ride system they're actually going to use for this and kind of story-wise what to expect.
Well, we've already seen pretty detailed modeling, so I think we're going to get a pretty good sense of what's going to be going in there.
Yeah.
And maybe even some story elements for Indiana.
Yeah, I think story elements for Indiana is very likely. Like I said, I think that they kind of learned, like, hey, this big concept stuff is not really going to fly at the moment. The best thing that we can do is start to give details.
Yeah, 100%. Mm-hmm. So obviously those are the things we're most looking forward to in the parks panel.
Yes.
I'm particularly looking forward to the film slate. I know we both are.
Yes.
That presentation, I think, was 2 hours. I think it's 7 to 9. I can't remember if that was Saturday or Friday. I think that's Friday. I think the parks panel is Saturday. Or I may have those two swapped.
No, parks panel is Saturday.
Okay, so movie panel Friday. That's 2 hours. I think the parks panel is an hour and a half. But that film panel is everything. So Lucasfilm, Marvel, live action, animation, Pixar.
Yeah, it's not separate this year.
Yeah.
It is all
encompassing.
Yes.
So I'm particularly curious to see what we're going to get out of that. I fully expect we're going to get probably seeing a little bit more of some of the upcoming Marvel areas. as we have technical difficulties.
Yes. Sorry. So yes, all that's gonna be separate this year. Or not separate. Last time it was separate. This time it's gonna be all together. So that will be nice. And then, I mean, we always look forward to a movie slate. I feel like that goes without saying.
Oh, for sure.
And then, I mean, really, we're looking forward to all the Honda Center stuff. So that means that on Sunday, that leaves us with the Legends ceremony. And there are quite a few people I think we're looking forward to with that.
Yeah.
Also, kind of paired with that, they're doing a talk with the Legends, like some of the people who are being inducted into the Legends, a different panel that morning.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's a lottery system. That all opened up today, actually, so we'll see if we end up getting any of that. But I think that that's a really cool thing to have before the ceremony itself.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I'm trying to get audio working better here, so we will see if that is accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so personal wish lists.
Oh, I didn't get to go through all my most anticipated.
Oh, well, excuse me. I didn't review.
Some of us had some detailed things to add. No, so Bob Weiss, the former president of Imagineering, has a new book coming out. I plan on getting it. And he's doing like a panel with a few other people just about Imagineering in general and Imagineering's history and kind of where it's going. And then he's doing several book signings, I should say, but they're kind of all in the lottery system. So I'm excited for the potential of that, of the panel and the book signing. Also, there's a really neat panel about the anniversary of the World's Fair.
Yes.
And I really hope we get into that one. I love the history of all of that, and we're hitting the anniversary of the World's Fair, obviously, so would love to be a part of that. And then lastly, we kind of hit on this earlier, but just the show floor in general. Last time, the archives had a really cool exhibit for the 100th anniversary of the company.
Yep.
But I'm sure there will be other types of exhibits that are special. There was a special one for the parks last year where we got to walk through and see models of all the new things coming across all of the international parks as well. We got to see like a sneak peek of some Zootopia stuff, models of the boat rides in the different Fantasy Springs area. We got to see Dreamer's Point ahead of time. We got to take a picture with Walt long before he was in Epcot. So the parks area on the show floor is always very cool to walk through.
Yeah, and normally there's some things kind of covered until the actual announcements and things like that.
But we've never been there to see the uncovered part. And this time, well, in the past, the parks panel's been on Sunday. So normally there's not a lot of time for that to be opened up. So it is kind of neat that that will happen on Saturday this year. And then on Sunday, all of that will kind of be open.
In the flesh.
Yes,
so
which means we'll be hitting that area twice while we're there.
At least.
We'll have a before and after shot for you guys. That's basically what that means.
Exactly. Okay, did you have any more?
No, that's it. I'm good now. Thank you.
I intentionally did not review this because I didn't want to just rehash what we already discussed.
No. It's fine. It's fine.
We see who has more detailed notes all the time.
Who writes most of the scripts? You just learned a little something about the way this channel works. Welcome.
Yes. One of us is more prepared than the other. So, personal wish lists. Mine is just a lot of Epcot, which you're going to talk about. So I don't know how much we want to
I mean, we kind of tag team this. It's fine.
Okay.
So I think we had some differences though as far as how we were approaching it.
Yes.
I once again went a very detailed way with this. So I'll start. I think I basically called this TLC for Epcot.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds a little crazy because we finally have construction walls down in Epcot. Obviously, recently we've had Communicore open back up. We have Moana. We got Guardians. We had Ratatouille. None of those things have been open for all that terribly long.
Yeah.
I realize these things. Okay, I'm not crazy. But hear me out. While all these new things are lovely and I enjoy them, even the airport lobby that is Communicore, there are a lot of things in Epcot that are in desperate need of an update. And Figment, I'm looking at you, and we're talking about Nemo, we're talking about Spaceship Earth, we're talking about even the Three Caballeros, just a lot of things that haven't been touched in a long time, is what I feel like. So all of that would be great for me. And then with that, obviously, pre-pandemic, we had a lot of projects announced for Epcot that, of course, got scrapped in the grand scheme of things. There's supposed to be a festival center. There's supposed to be a Mary Poppins thing. The Spaceship Earth redo was supposed to happen then.
Yep.
A handful of other things. So I would really like to see some of those rediscussed. And also just a different plan for some of these. So I won't undercut you here because I know Spaceship Earth was one of yours.
Yes. So we were kind of promised that a while ago, but so we've ridden it a lot here lately with people that have been in town.
Yes, we have.
And friends, and it has broken down every
A
single
lot.
time I've ridden it.
Oh my goodness. We were there this Saturday, and it literally broke down like while we were at the
On
very
descending part,
Yes.
but for a while.
Yes.
I think that's probably the longest I've ever waited on.
But
there.
as it turns out, those lights are a little dizzying. Like the longer that you sit
Yeah.
there and kind of, I don't lose touch with reality and your spatial awareness. So, but it has broken down a lot while we've been out there.
Yes, most definitely.
You didn't need that whole story, but you got it
Right.
anyway for free. You're welcome.
Right. So, but I think, and maybe I'll get it, but I would really love for them to actually refurbish the ride.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need a ton of stuff changed. I think there are tweaks here and there. I think some, more or less, just some technical things. The speakers sometimes are just not great. I sometimes really can't hear it very well. I think a lot of the animatronics don't necessarily need to be changed very much. I think some scenes could be updated and kind of, modified. But I don't think you have to gut it necessarily.
No.
But I think the ride system particularly does need some tender loving care, as it were.
It does. Speaking of things that are just, in need of help, aka this thing has been just sitting there for a while, and that is the Wonders of Life Pavilion.
Yes.
That we were told it's going to be the Play Pavilion, and now it's not. And I can only hope that they are going to do something really cool with this, aka Inside Out 2 just passed, some ungodly amount of money. And those characters are very popular at the moment. And it would be a really cool thing to work on something in that area with emotions and mental health and maybe even physical health. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, we discussed this the other night. I think with Inside Out 2 being now the highest grossing Pixar film ever, I think they'll be chomping at the bit, so to speak, to get that in the parks somewhere.
Yeah, and I think it could work very well in Epcot.
Yes.
Especially since, I don't know, we used to have Body Wars and all that kind of stuff. So...
And there is more room in there than you would think. There is
Yes.
there is room to do things. In the
Well,
pavilion.
for a while it was used with festivals, and I forgot honestly just how huge it was. And they weren't even utilizing all that space then. It was just
very
part of
little,
it.
Very little.
So the Wonders of Life Pavilion, I would really love for them to bring back up the Mary Poppins thing. And I know it's one of my favorites, just in general, not just Disney. It's one of my favorite movies. It hurt to see that cut. So I would love to see that discussed again. Yeah. Also, I just think having attractions added to the different countries and World Showcase is a lot of fun, personally. So
I agree.
Big fan of that. I think I might have had something else, and now I can't read my own handwriting, so that's cool. This is what happens whenever you scribble on paper instead of just using the Notes app on your phone, which is so easy to read.
Correct.
But there we go. I'm sure it had something to do. Oh, we talked about on the technical side of things, Soarin'.
Oh, yeah.
That even Soarin' could use a little
Well, and now that
Little
Epcot's
love.
complete, they need to redo the tag at the very least. So
Yes.
we're still not flying over the Fountain of Nations.
Oh, yeah. R.I.P. It's not there
R.I.P.
anymore.
And then the other thing, yes, I agree. Thank you, Kendra.
Yes. Sorry, we just saw the comment come in. Hey.
And thanks for watching, Quentin. I appreciate
Yes, very much.
it. So the other thing on the list, for me particularly, is Animation Courtyard at Hollywood Studios.
Oh, yeah.
I don't actually have a plan for what I want there. I just
Something
it just
needs to happen.
It's so sad walking over there now because I know they're redoing that Little Mermaid show, which is great, but it's just kind of a ghost town over there. They used to have a lot of things in Launch Bay, but even most of that is gone except for some of the meet and
There's
greets.
less of a need for that now that Galaxy's Edge is open, which we knew would be the case. And then, like, I know the Disney Junior stuff is very popular, but it's literally the only thing that kind of draws people over there, especially since Little Mermaid has been down for so long. It is really one of the last areas of the park that really needs something.
And I think it's about, I think the last time I looked at it, it was probably between 5 and 6 acres of space by there. So it's not like it's a, unreasonable size of something to put there. So.
No particular plans for what it needs to be. But I think since the ethos of the park has kind of changed with the renaming and all of that, after moving from MGM into Hollywood Studios, and this really kind of, and I hate to use this word, but immersive approach to the movies, right? It's no longer about how they're being made. It's about inserting you into it and letting you kind of live your own adventures, right? So I think that area needs to catch up.
Yes. I don't want it renamed, though. I'm just throwing that out there. They just renamed the movie park in Paris to Adventureland.
Right. No, we don't need
Adventure Park.
Sorry, for a minute I thought you were saying that you didn't need it to be renamed from Animation Courtyard, and I'm like, well, that might be kind of necessary depending on what they put in there.
It must be kept Animation Courtyard.
Just kidding.
No, I meant the actual name of the
Yeah,
park.
I'm following now. We're good. I'm there.
It's getting
I'm
late.
there.
It's almost my bedtime.
It is almost its bedtime. We're doing the best we can.
This is true.
Did you have anything else on your wish list?
That's really all I had. It's mostly Epcot and the Animation Courtyard.
Just a lot of Epcot. All right, I have a couple of things on mine. Obviously, I think that we're going to get news on Big Thunder. Beyond Big Thunder, or whatever it is that we're calling it.
Yes.
But I'm ready to see what they're going to say, because I think the consensus for the most part is that there will be a phase 1 development and a phase 2 development. I'm going to be very interested to see what they do with the phase 2, specifically if it's going to be villains oriented or not. So I'm hoping that that is going to be the case. So that is, I'm just hoping to get more clarity on what they're going to be doing beyond Big Thunder. That's really the big one for Magic Kingdom. I'm hoping that we'll get an opening timeline. I shouldn't say date. I put down date, but they don't do dates. They do like summer 2025. You know what I mean? We don't do like specific dates until it's like about to happen. So I would like an opening timeline for Frozen in Disneyland Paris. That is kind of the first international park that we're hoping to hit. Obviously not immediately, because we're about to go to Anaheim. It's sometime next year or so. We're kind of hoping to make it out there, and I would really love for Frozen to be open whenever we are there. And yeah, I mean, I feel like they're doing a lot of work, especially over in Paris right now between the two parks. Yes. So, and Frozen is something we don't have here. I don't think we're going to have here, and so that would be neat to experience something that is only in some of the international parks. So that, for me, just big Animal Kingdom announcements. We know that we're going to see more information about the Tropical Americas for sure. But honestly, there are a lot of areas of Animal Kingdom that still have room to grow.
Oh, for sure.
And so with that, I'm kind of hoping that we'll get some more announcements for Animal Kingdom, whether it's going to be this potential Lion King thing or something else. the other thing is, and this is such a stickler thing for me, but I need a nighttime show at Animal Kingdom. We loved Rivers of Light so much. It was so beautiful. And now all that space in the park is just completely underutilized. I know we've kind of talked, just the two of us, about whether they're going to do something drone related because of how popular this has been in Disney Springs and in Paris. And theoretically, they have the room to do that at Animal Kingdom. I hope that is the case. But really, right now, Animal Kingdom closes at 6 p.m., which is such a shame because Pandora at night is beautiful. It was constructed to be this whole experience. And right now, we don't get to enjoy it, like, ever. So I would love to have something that would keep Animal Kingdom open for longer. Obviously, I know with Dinoland about to go down under construction, there's going to be less, quote unquote, to do.
Yeah.
But whenever you look at all the animals and all the different trails and all the different shows, Animal Kingdom is a longer day in the park than most people realize if you're going to do everything.
100%.
So, but I would still like some really big announcements for Animal Kingdom.
Yes.
And the one non-park thing is Star Wars content. I'm excited to see what they're going to announce for that.
Yes. Hopefully more about the Rey movie, Filoni's movie,
Yes.
whatever else they have cooking.
Yes. And maybe some stuff for Andor too.
Yes. Well, I hope we get a trailer for that at the very least.
Yes. Oh. Hi, Irvin kids. Sorry, just seen the comment. I think Jonathan's probably seen it for a while. But hi.
Yes. Thanks for watching.
Yes. Can't wait to see you guys soon.
That's right. So, anything else?
No, I think I've probably talked long enough. Thanks. Everyone is probably tired of it.
Oh
I went on a rant about Epcot and now about Animal Kingdom. So
There you
my
go.
work here is done.
Your work here is done. Well, I think that's going to wrap us up.
Yeah.
We're excited to film everything. We're excited for y'all to see it.
Yes.
Just be ready for the barrage of Southern California content.
Yes. We will
sometime
technically be
next
back
month.
in Orlando, but it will not look like it for a while on the channel. So
True. But thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, keep savoring the magic.